We heard some rumblings here recently as people were concerned about comments that Trump had made after hearing that Xi Jinping was now going to be emperor for life. He has since come out and stated he was joking about that. But let's take a look here at what's happening here on the world stage. We have Xi Jinping, and they were talking about this, and now it's in concrete. They passed this vote. Then you have to wonder what would happen to any of the individuals that did not vote in favor for this. Would they have been taken out back, and then what? Well, this individual basically was entering his, what they would call a lame duck period for his presidency. The second half of his second term, where you start to lose power and people start to focus on who the next leader is going to be and kissing his butt and on all that. So what he did is he said, guess what? All of you young guys that are waiting and are supposed to be my hires in waiting, you're just going to wait a lot longer if you're ever going to have a chance. What he did is, instead of picking 2 young individuals to bring into this inner circle of 7 members of a standing committee, these hires in waiting, he chose all men, no women, and these individuals are closer to his own age or older. And they're basically saying he is going to be the Chinese emperor for life. So, ladies and gentlemen, you better get used to hearing the name Xi Jinping, because if most of you are going to be around for the next 10, 20 years or so, through many different presidencies, potentially, if things go smoothly here in this country and around the globe, this man looks to be in power that whole time. So if there's going to be any major war, if there's going to be taking China in any major direction, any conflict or anything, it's going to be under the guidance of this man, Xi Jinping. So, some are comparing his strong-arming capabilities here to Vladimir Putin. But Vladimir Putin did not just say to heck with the country's constitutional limits. He found a way around them, although some would say it was not fair as well. What he did do after his 2 terms were up in 2008 is he put one of his top advisors, Medvedev, as president. And then after that term was over, Putin ran again in 2012 and won it. And he's about to go back up for re-election for the second term and more than likely win that too. And when those 2 terms are up, all he's got to do is put Medvedev back in position as president. And then he can sit there as prime minister for a term and slide right back in musical chairs. Keeping the power right there at a handful of individuals. Same thing going down in China. And that's the latest. So I wanted to update this. What was rumored to be something that could potentially happen has now happened. And this is something that looks to be sticking here in terms of China. And I've talked about China over and over and over and over again and where this is going globally. I personally do not believe that there's another country out there that sits on the other side of the aisle from the United States that basically it's the counterbalance out here. We've seen all the war. We've seen everything else going on here on this global stage. I really feel that with all the people that they have to feed in China, something is going to come to a head here sooner than later. And it's very, very interesting that the country that shut down their Silk Road number 2 is Russia. It's also very interesting that Bannon names this brand new axis against the United States in the Christian West. Never mentions Russia. I'll leave a link. This has been Dabu7. Eyes open on this world stage.